back to my channel. Welcome to another video. I am back with another Netflix recommendation. You guys, a new video came out on Netflix, and the title is Anikulapo. The film has been going the rounds on TikTok. People have been talking about it. I'm going to give you guys a review of what I think about that video, and if this video is what you would like to watch, please stick around to the end of the video. Don't forget to join the family by subscribing. It's actually free. Turn on your post notification and tell me what you feel about it. I decided to watch it for myself because people were really talking nice things about it. So I was like, okay, let me go and watch and see what the fuss is about, like what it's actually about. The movie just started like a nice movie. I really liked the video content. I like the camera qualities, was actually nice, and I also like the village settings. Like the thing has this kind of Yoruba kind of village settings. Like the movie, the environment of the movie actually gave the vibe that it's supposed to give. Like that one was very okay. So it started like every other village setting, and it started with a guy that came into a village. He came into that village as a stranger. The village accepted him. The guy's name was Saro. So he came in and he met a woman that was called Awaru. Awaru was the first person that met him and gave him shelter and all of those stuff. Before you know, the both of them started sleeping together, and eventually the Sarah that just came into the village, I was supposed to be working for Awaru now, became one of his favorites. She gave him a house. Their relationship just grew. They got to know each other, and the woman started doing things for him. Mind you, the woman is actually older than Sarah. Like, she's older than Sarah. She also left her husband's house to become a boss on her own, and she's older than Sarah. So she virtually provided everything for Sarah in that village. She made him very comfortable, and she was one of the council of chiefs in that particular your village. Awaru recommended Sarah to the palace, the king, and the king now said, okay, come to the palace and make ashoke for my wife. So back to the king's palace now. The king had he had 4 wives, and the youngest wife was Arolake. So Arolake doesn't have a child. She does not have a child. She's actually the youngest, and she doesn't have a child. So, and you know, as the youngest wife, the king was actually fond of her. She was like the newest prize. You know that new thing, when you buy something new, you ditch the old one. So she was like that new piece that the king bought. So the king was always with her, and it was making the other wives jealous, the other 2 wives jealous, except the senior wife that was actually not. She doesn't have time. So the other 2 wives, they were jealous. They were always bullying her of the fact that she doesn't have a child. The point of one of the wives even telling her that what she's there in the palace for is just for the king's pleasure, that they are there to bear children for the king. It got to a time that, you know, as a polygamous family, some days are for this other queen. Some day everybody has their day that the king comes to meet them. So on the day of the second wife's turn, the king went to the second wife's chamber, and the second wife was busy complaining of how the king was always with Arolake. He was like, oh, it's as if you don't want me to stay here this night. So the king now angrily got up and went to Arolake's room. Arolake was even telling the king that, today is not my turn, go and meet your wife, because she does not want problem. But the king insisted on being with her. So that thing pissed that second wife off, and she came the next morning and talked to her, gave her all sorts of bad words and all of those stuff, and eventually broke Arolake's mirror. So on the day that Sarah came into the palace to show off his clothes, the other queen collected, and after that, Sarah was about to go. Then one of the maids came and said, there's 1 queen remaining. So before Arolake came, you know that kind of vibe now. So immediately Arolake came, the both of them, they just clicked, and they started getting attracted to each other. Like, they were attracted to each other at the first sight. So before you know it, they were in a relationship. Arolake was always running off to go and meet Sarah and all of those stuff. Running off in the middle of the night to go and meet him and just be with him, just like that. And in the course of her running off to go and be with Sarah, the big princess, which is the second wife's first daughter, is also having eyes for Sarah, but she doesn't know that Arolake was dating Sarah secretly. So one fateful day, she followed Arolake. As Arolake was going, she followed Arolake to that place, not knowing that Arolake did not know that the girl followed her. So long story short, the girl already went home and reported the issue. Saro wanted to run away. They caught him up. They beat him to death. They literally beat him to death. Arolake was actually in a corner watching for people to go. So in the morning when the bed, there's one bed, maybe the bed that has the gifts of life and there's one like that, came to finalize the whole process. So Arolake just hit the bed and collected like a charm that has the power of life and death. Long story short, Saro woke up. So they went to another town and Arolake gave the charm to Saro, and that was when she messed up. The film was going quite well, but she gave the charm to Saro. He started raising people from the dead. He started getting a lot of goodies, and she was the proud wife. She was like that woman that was like, behind a successful man there's a woman. So she was like that woman. So Saro will always call her my guardian and all of those stuff. They were happy until Saro started sleeping with one of the maid and eventually got her pregnant, and things escalated from there and became so bad. So I'm not going to tell you all the movie. At least I've told you a very good amount of the movie. My opinion about that movie is, first of all, people were actually hyping the video too much. I was waiting. I watched the movie to the end to see something that is different from what we all know. But I didn't see anything different. The movie is actually nice. I'm not saying it's not nice. It's actually nice, and I like the fact that they actually made it so real. Like the feeling was real. Everything was just real. And coming to Saro's character, Saro's character is the character of an average man. Saro's character is the character of is just generally the character of an average man. We all know that men are actually humbled when they have nothing. Like, men have this ability to be very, very humble, caring, romantic, loving, and all of those things when they have nothing. Like, they all, except the ones that are destined to be arrogant, except the ones that are village people is after. If a man is rich and a man still takes care of you, still loves you, still stay true to his word, still be with you and still cares for you, that is when you know that that man is a real man. So Saro's character is just the average character of a man. He was the loving type, the caring type, until he became rich. He became famous, and then everything escalated. Everything, he's just being an Adam. Saro was just being an Adam, and he acted it well. He did a very nice job of being an Adam. The character that is actually paining me is the character of Arolake. Arolake was so in love and she forgot that people change. She was so in love and she forgot that men will be men. The mistake she made was to give him that charm. She gave him the charm that should have used to help herself. She gave it to him, being a very good if. So that was where she messed up. That was where she actually messed up. And the man took her for granted and ended up marrying 2 extra wives on top of her head and was planning to marry the 3rd one. But my joy is that at the end of the whole movie, she actually got back at him and she spoilt the charm. She spoilt that charm that Saro was using to raise people up from there. And Saro eventually died at the end of the day. So just watch it. If you've not subscribed, please do well to hit my subscribe button, turn on your post notification, give this video a thumbs up, and leave your comment in the comment section. If you have any video you want me to review or talk about, just leave it in the comment section. I'm going to watch it and certainly come and review it, because why are we here? We are here to serve you people. Stay tuned and go nowhere. See you in the next video. Stay blessed. Bye.